Yo, what's up, guys? Here with another video for you. So we're doing something a little different today. So what I need to really be doing, I think, is to get back into the DB grind. All right, I need to start practicing. That I did the best with water when I had to actually spend a little bit, even just a little bit of time practicing on DB. I do think it's really important to get these practice games in every night. And the fact that I wasn't doing it, basically what happens is like, is if you spend all your time just theorizing, you just kind of get lost, and you get lost in the sauce, and you get lost in your thoughts, and then you're never able to like truly practice anything, and then have to put that much of a commitment on this one locals. There's so much variance that you can't even tell if what you theorized was even good or not. So what we're doing today is what I'm hoping I can do for the future, at least up until this regional, is to at least get maybe. God, I would love to get 2 to 3 matches in a day. We'll see if I can. I'm sure I can. I just gotta make it work, make it fit, while keeping these uploads going. But yeah, so we're doing DB games today. I did have one more feature match I could have shown. It was the last round. It was dog water though. It was against pure Ryzeal. He was tired. He wasn't playing right. So it didn't even matter. It was a 2-0, and it wasn't even worth showing. So we're doing DB. I have 2 matches today. This first match is against Mitsurugi Ryzeal, and I'm also playing no Deepsea King. All right, so yeah, we'll just start hopping into it. So I lose the rock paper scissors here, and yeah, it's against Ryzeal and Mitsurugi. This is my first game with no Deepsea King. It's my first time even playing the deck at all. So we open Perulia, Imperm, Teus Squad, Infantry. They have Prosperity, Ritual. Imperm, Valor, Ice. So yeah, pretty nice hand here. I start with the Perulia in the draw phase, and then he goes normal Ice. I draw for the Prince, and then I'm thinking here, since I have the Imperm, and he's starting with the Ice, there's a potential he might just skip his turn here. If he doesn't skip his turn, and since my Perulia resolved, I'm thinking, okay, so I want to get more draws from this guy, so I'm okay with committing the early Imperm on the Ice rather than saving it for Duo, so I can try and get some more draws off, do like a droplet for whatever I might be dealing with. So this is when we find out we're playing against Mitsurugi. I did not know until this point, and I think he grabs X here. Yeah, grabs X, and so at this point I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I was happy to see he did grab a Mitsurugi card, but I also don't know if he has one in hand. So I get another draw off the X here. He sends Eclipse, gets Sword, and I actually forgot he got Sword. I think it probably would have mattered later. So he makes the Feral Imp here. I guess in hindsight, if you don't know what you're playing against, maybe you do just save the Imperm. Maybe I should just save it, because whether it's Duo Drive or if it's the Fiendsmith package, or if it's Mitsurugi, I think the Imperm probably is just more effective in all those circumstances later in the turn. And the reason I say that is because, so pure Ryzeal, you just wait till the Duo Drive, hit the Duo Drive, and now they have to commit a bunch of resources. And this is also including like whether you open Perulia or no Perulia. I think you just hit the Duo Drive in pure. If they go Fiendsmith, you either hit the Duo Drive later in the turn, or if it's your only hand trap, depending on what they do, depending on how they play, you might just hold the Imperm for your turn for the Caesar. Not amazing, but definitely what you might have to do. And then versus Mitsurugi, it's hitting this Feral Imps card. Man, you hit Feral Imps, and their whole turn like kind of shuts down, right? Like, how does this summon? You have a Ryzeal monster in your field of grave, so he can. So if I Imperm this, he can special Sword, and then he can add one. And then he can special Duo. So I don't know, hard to say. I'd hear your guys' thoughts on how I maybe should have played this out differently, if I should have played it out differently. It felt correct at the time, because stopping that Ice Summon from deck seems pretty powerful. But yeah, so he just goes Ritual here, and then my only misplay here is I didn't realize how Prayers and Amano works. I did not. I've not played against this deck very often, and the times I did, it wasn't against very skillful players. At least players who were like familiar with the deck. That's more what it is. It wasn't that they were bad players. They hadn't played the deck before themselves, so they were also rusty with it. So we have a pretty solid hand here. Double Teus Dragoon Squad Infantry. Prince is very strong. I know that I have to discard for my first effect. And I don't, and so he has two blinds. These are the 2 cards I don't know. So I start with Teus Infantry. I just want to force out the Amano right away. And he asks if I want to negate, and I choose to actually just let it get negated because I have multiple discard outlets. I still have one discard outlet per Teus, so it's fine letting that go. Then the infantry pops the Amano. Now, where I had my big mess up was with prayers. I did not realize exactly how this card worked. I did not realize that he can just special back. Right, I think that's what he did. He goes prayers and he special back the Amano, if I'm not mistaken. When you activate this card, you can tribute one Mermail monster in your hand or field. Apply one of these effects. If you tributed a monster at activation, you can apply both. Add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand. Take 800, then you can summon one Mitsurugi monster from your graveyard, but cannot attack. Yeah, so that's what he did. So he activates prayers later in the turn to summon this back to get its pop on summon. I did not realize that's how that worked. So this is definitely a learning from experience moment, which is good. This is why we're here. This is what we're doing. Yeah, so in hindsight, I would start with Teus Dragoons, try and get to either a Poseidra, or just some of the other Teus as well, and not use Squad this early because Squad just made me commit too many monsters on my board that in hindsight I wish I didn't do. So he Valors the Teus here. We actually kind of like that. That's like totally fine. And then my squad summons Pike. Pike discards Dragoons. And he negates that too. So that's great. So he's just clicking negate on all the first cards. So he's definitely playing this as incorrect as possible. So this is definitely my game to win for sure. But this is where I think I overcommitted. Maybe in hindsight, I don't know if the Teus was needed, but I could have got Shrine either way. Yeah, so I just played this out a little awkwardly. I think there was a better line for this. Maybe I even let the first Teus summon go through, so that way I don't have to recommit a new discard, and I can just go like Teus Infantry summon, and then Teus Dragoon summon, but you're paying the same amount of cards no matter what, so hard to say. But yeah, I go Poseidra, and this was probably like the biggest mistake, was I go Poseidra, send Prince, which is fine, and then Poseidra sends my Dragoons from deck to grave. I target his set card to force it out, and so he gets this. So then he chains, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, oh that's just gonna pop my cards. Got it. Okay. So now my Prince is summoning back with Dragoons. My board is getting wiped, and then I'm getting Dragoon Search. Now I do feel like I'm in a fine spot here because I knew I had the Dragoon Search, so I've actually cleared all of his resources, and I still have Prince Teus in hand. It's just it wasn't. I don't think this was just enough cards. I think maybe if I didn't waste my Prince effect there, that would have been kind of nice. I also don't think there was any other cards I could have grabbed here. I think I kind of ran out of resources. But so we go Shrine, Tribute Prince, summon Teus, and then we summon Teus from hand with our Minstrel, and now we make Trite summons back. I had no idea who I wanted to summon back here. My issue was I didn't have another card in my hand, and I couldn't get to another card in my hand. To make Poseidra live, because if I have one more card in my hand, Poseidra's live and I win. So yeah, I still don't see what card that could have been. I don't see it. Yeah, so I just go Poseidra, send statue to grave, and at this point I've forgotten that he had sword, so I'm just thinking I just need to put this man on better have it in terms of someone who can attack over statue. Now he always had it, so that was my mistake as well. And then we go statue off the coral. I do still like that play. It's still a strong play after clearing a board. I just had nothing to pair with it. So yeah, it's hard to say how I could have played this one out differently. I'd be really interested to hear your guys' thoughts, because if there's a line here, I'd love to hear it. I mean, obviously you never know about Imperm Valor, but I still think this is winnable through Imperm Valor. So yeah, he just attacks over, and at this point he's just gonna start playing. He has sword, and eventually I should be scooping it up here. Yeah, he's going duo, and the minute I see duo, I'm like, yeah, there's no way. So we win the roll, and that game was a lot more interesting than the rest of these. So yeah, we win the roll. He has Perulia, let's see, with Sanji, Cross, Bonfire, Sanji. I have Ash, Impulse, Ash, Squad, Diva. So Diva coming in clutch right here. He drops Perulia. I chain the Ash to negate. I normal Diva. He has no more hand traps, Social Prince, and it is a scoop from there. So yeah, Diva, yeah, it did something. We like that. Yeah. So and then game 3, go second. Now here's the other fork in the road here. So our hand is generally a good hand. Impulse, Prulia, Droplet, Teus, Infantry versus Imperm, Ash, Ice, Prayers, and what is this? Futsuno. Yeah. So if this Ash goes through, then I probably win this game. I think he literally just had to add. He had to have Ash with a Prulia, and he did, and he had the Ice in hand, and so he starts with shotgunning the Prayers, and I'm like, oh, this is great. We'll just get. Oh, he does the quick play to add Sanji first. Special sign. So okay. I see, because he tributed a reptile, he could do both effects, which is add a monster to hand and then pay 8 to special from hand. I see. So that's how he gets around the normal ice here. So that's cool. I understand. So yeah, I guess he gets his searches off. That's all great. Gets his ritual spell, gets his monster, and now he can tribute from deck to summon from hand. And I'm like, I have the impulse, dude. This is huge. This is huge. We're gonna work and like just pass. I was like, I was thinking, and then you know, normal ice is crazy. So yeah, he gets the normal ice here, and yeah, tough nuts. We'll just kind of fast forward this for a sec. He just kind of goes full combo. I have nothing here, and the only thing I'm thinking is, should Droplet have been a different card here? Like, is this a point where the Droplet should have been Nibiru's? I almost kind of feel like Nibiru wouldn't have really done anything either, because he still would have, because he would have gotten to the duo before I could have nibbed him, and he would have had, I think he would have had the node in hand. I think he had the node in hand off of the X search. Pretty sure he went ice special X search node, and then he went into duo drive. And so if I do nib him on the duo drive, right. Yeah, if I nib him on the duo drive, I don't know. Actually, I don't remember how that would have played out. But I don't think nib wins here. Pretty sure. So it's hard to say what Droplet should have been. Maybe Droplet is fine just being Droplet. I just didn't have any other cards to pair with it. It's just, you know, even if we look at how this hand played out, I have 4 cards in hand. One of these are Droplet. Like, is there even a card combination here that like lets me win? He was going to, as you can see here, he was going to Dweller and Draw Phase. So it's not like I could have like normal summon Diva, him chain Dweller, and then I go Droplet and send Diva another card to negate both. Plus he had Cross, so he had Cross plus 2 hand traps. So I don't think this game was ever winnable. I don't think there's anything I could have done here outside of just like Prulia going through. That was like probably the biggest case. But yeah, so that was against Ryzeal and Mitsurugi. I think this game's somewhat out of my control. And then game 1 I think was winnable. And so yeah, you take what you can from those. All right, so on to our second game here, our second match of the night. I only was able to do 2 matches, so we get what we can. Yeah, so crazy hand. We got Prulia, Malice. So we're going first though, so not cool. Yeah, Malice, or if you're wondering why Malice is in the main deck, so I only own 3 Prulia, 2 Fluros, 1 Meowth, and I'm talking with some with a nice young chap. I talked about how like I might as well just main this because it gets you to that 6 Charmies in the main, and the 6 Charmies is pretty important. Draw cards are still amazing, even if it's the Meows, as well as like, you know, Meows still kind of solves. It's still there for the same reason that Fluros is there. Like, I main Prulia because it's a water and it's basically an upstart at least. Typically it's like a +1 and to every single deck, plus I have to make a half board, and it's strong into Ryzeal, so I like Prulia. But Fluros is mainly in the main deck. I only choose for it to be in the main deck. Yes, it's broken against every deck, but it's mainly because I'm afraid of Malice, and so having that be the justification for why Fluros is in my main deck, it makes more sense for Meowth to be in the main deck as well, because all 3 of those cards are really just cards that I'm main decking as a choice for Malice. So the justification you know, works out there. And once you play the 6 Charmies in the main, then it's just like it's a very clean 15 non-engine that I can aim for, and that's what I'm playing here. It's 6 Charmies, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Droplet. But yeah, so going first, we're playing against Crystrons here, as you may not be able to tell from his hand. Yeah, we have Prince Mulan squad, double charming. He has Ash, Veiler, Droll, Ogre, Ash. So pretty tough. I think I played against Droll every single game in this match. So that's kind of cool. You know, no Deepsea King, by the way. So yeah, so we start this off with just normal Prince, obviously. Send Dragoons. I send Dragoons here because we have the squad in hand, so I don't need to I don't need it. I don't need to send it off the Prince, and it's always best to grab Shrine off your first search, because if you grab Shrine, that means you have Poseidra, and if you Poseidra Prince in Shrine rotation, you know that means you can probably set up a Levy add back Prince to have your Seals pass online. So on Res, yeah, he draws me here, and then I go Fine, and then I go Shrine, pitch Squad. And then he chains Ash here to the Shrine. I think sending Squad was correct because there's no other way I was able to get it out. So I think I had to do that. Plus I want to get Squad engraved so I can make rank 7 plays. And so I go Fine, and he goes, and I go Squad effect to special Dragoons. I don't know if there was a better card to special, maybe special infantry, so you're not dumping all of your waters engraved this early. But that's what we do here. So then we go into Coral. And I can't remember what my line was. My line was I just wanted to get 5 waters engraved because I had Mulan in hand, so I can special Mulan here. It gets Veilered, and then I'm like, okay, well I can still set up a rank 7, because I can special back the Squad, discard the Meows, and then make a Gaios. So I attempt to do that, and then he ogres. So yeah, so I just get fully hand trapped out of my mind, and then he top decks his 1 card starter. What is that? Oh my gosh. And then even in draw phase, I go Shrine, discard Meows to like draw and hand trap, you know, maybe draw like a crazy Ash Blossom. And no, he ashes that too. So then he just plays, and I'm like, yep, that's it. It took me a second to actually end it here, because I couldn't remember, but I was almost positive that was like full combo. So I just go next here. Maybe that was incorrect, but you know, that's what we do. So we're going first again. Post sighting. So I have the Lancia here, Lancia, Mulan, Dragoons, Diva, 1 for 1. You know, like starter, extender, really just both starters, really nice. Then he has Imperm, Droll, Imperm, so a lot of hand traps here and 2 Crystron cards. And yeah, so we have the Lancia, so we know no matter what, we have like a nice like insurance policy. But yeah, so we just started off. So I start with normal Diva. The reason I start with normal Diva over 1 for 1 is because I want to see if I'm going to be able to bait a Ash or a Impulse. Even if he opens Imperm and Ash or Impulse or Veiler, he might choose to negate this with the wrong hand trap, so that way my 1 for 1 can dodge like any target negation. Now in this instance, he only had 2 Imperms, but you never know if he had Imperm Ash. For some reason, he may have wanted to Ash the Diva, especially because last game he saw I had Mulan Glacia, so he might want to hold the targeting protection for the Mulan. Yeah. So he negates the Diva, that's fine. We knew it was going to happen, but now I can go for 1 for 1, and it's clear, and then that resolves. I'm like, great, we win. We don't win, obviously, but we know we get really close. And so we send Squad to add Shrine once again. We send Squad because we don't have Squad in hand. And we send Squad, and sending Squad, adding Shrine here is amazing, because if I don't get Drolled, then my Squad summons Pike discards Dragoons, and then you get the Minstrel there, and then it's just full combo. But he Drolls me, so he special Dragoons out, and then again, that could have been infantry, I guess. That definitely could have been infantry, and I could have normaled the other Dragoons in my hand. I think I needed the discard though, so I don't know if that would have been actually better. But we do go. See, that would have been kind of sick though, because if you went infantry, you could have normaled this Dragoons here, and then instead of summoning Dragoons from deck, I still would have had 1 Dragoons then. No, this had to be the play. This is the only way to get 2 Dragoons online, and I think I'm able to get to a rank 4 play here. I don't remember. Well, he has Imperm as well. So I go Sidra, tribute the Prince, summon Squad off Prince, and now I'm trying to link 2 into Coral. I think what I want to get here is, I just want to get Shrine, so I can go for a Levy play and get my rotation going. Now debatably, you could have made the King first, and then made this, and then ranked up in the Levy to dodge this Imperm that I'm about to get hit with. But I mean, it didn't really matter, and I should remember this for the future as well. That since I had Dragoons, in my hand, this play I was actually ended up being better, because I just link off the Dragoons and Levy for the Lacia. I have the Dragoons for discard for Lacia, and then I have Shrine for the Prince that the Dragoons will add. So I actually have more follow up this way. And yeah, so we play through a double Imperm Droll, and then draw phase. I go Lacia, discard Dragoons to get my Shrine, and then Dragoons gets my Prince. And once that was secured, I was like, all right, bet. So I guess we're sitting pretty here. Yeah, so he starts playing here. I'm letting him go, and I think right about, yeah, on his reveal here is when I activate Lancia. Mainly, I didn't know when to activate it. I didn't know when the proper time was, and I was very afraid. So I just like trying to be very careful. And even here, I'm like checking like on res, like, do you have anything? Because I'm ready to use my seals play, because I can see that he's already used up all his resources. So I think right here, yeah. So this card I think does something. Yeah, so this card is destroyed by battle or card effect. He can special one from grave, so we definitely do not want to pop this to the infantry. But this one did nothing, so we are fine to. Yeah, he's in a dump too. I checked them; they don't do anything. So I'm like, all right, bet. Here we'll go Shrine. Yeah, draw an Imperms, pretty cool. Not too super relevant, but yeah. So now we're able to Prince Poseidra send infantry, and I think this is a really nice play. Like the double pop, it does deal with, you know, rank 4 plays even as well, being able to like send one back and pop the other. It just keeps him off having, it just makes him need 2 bodies instead of 1. So yeah, we send back the extra deck, infantry pops the other, and then from there he just scoops it up. So that was good. That was good indeed. And then game 3 here, we open Dragoons, Fluros, Pike, Spirit, Diva. So not a bad hand. The Diva has less priority than the Pike, but what's cool about Diva is that since we're playing infantry, this Diva can be considered a later game extender, you know, so that is nice. And then we're playing against Droll, Imperm, and he has 2 Crystrons. I think this is the brick, right? And then the trap. Opening the trap's actually kind of crazy here, especially with how this hand played out. So I wait. So I thought about draw phasing this, and I think that's probably just correct to do it that way. But if I did that, so he ended up passing. So okay, so he dashes his way to the extra deck. So I'm like, 1 sec, on summon, Fluros, and then he actually just so he pops this to do what? You should summon monsters in a decoration turn except missing type monsters. Destroy this card, and if you do, just summon 1 Crystron tuner from your deck. Okay, so he specials Chistaros. Okay, so I do get the 1 draw for that, but then after that he just scoops it up, or not scoops it up. Sorry, he passes play. So so I'm definitely expecting a Droll here as well. And right, so yes, he passes on. He has cluster set and his Imperm Droll, and he has this. But this card does not seem to actually do anything. Am I crazy, or is this just like synchro into nothing? That's typically how I feel with this. I mean, I will say I had the Ash Blossom for it, so I don't know what it would have synchroed into, but it seems like it synchros into nothing. But yeah, so we're just gonna start with you know, good old-fashioned Pikes and Dragoons here. We're starting with Pikes and Dragoons. I'm sorry, Pikes and Squad, because it gets us to a potential rank 4 if we want. But really, it just summons Prince on field, and it's just a part of like the puzzle of Prince Poseidra Shrine. That's like that's the puzzle you're always trying to build. And yeah, so we add the Minstrel because we already have our Shrine, and we already went through our squads. There's no other level 3s we're getting except Minstrel. Plus it's a tuner, so it's nice in that sense. And then he changed Trisaurus here, and we have the Ash for it. I don't know if that was Ash was needed, but we do it. And then our squad activates, and he changed roles. So I'm like, all right, let's play through it again. Summon Prince here, and then he clusters it. Not sure why he clustered. This might have been a little early. I mean, it would have been nice to go Shrine Tribute Prince to summon the Poseidra. So I guess I lose out on that, but that doesn't seem super important. And then I get the Prince anyways, because I'm able to send Prince off Poseidra. So I special Poseidra here, and then I send Prince to target his set card. It was an Imperm, so I put it back in his hand. And I already checked him on Pike normal for a Solemn, and if he would have had a Solemn Judgment there, he would have hit it. He would have hit me with Strike a long time ago. He would have hit me with Strike on Shrine. So at this point, I can kind of tell it's only and it's an imperm or it's a bluff. So I'm not afraid of. So what I targeted to get it off the field because it's I don't know what it could be outside of like those 2 cards. But once it's in his hand, I'm not afraid of it anymore. So our Prince gets sent to grave by Poseidra. Prince comes back Dragoons. This gets us to a rank 4 play here. Now we actually don't keep the Toad here. I've been doing this a lot more where once I know that they have nothing, there's no point in trying to like play around keeping Toad on field. It's not doing anything for you. But what it does do effectively is offer you the card advantage you need to start playing obtaining your win condition better, which is getting to Poseidra and then because you need 2 discards at all times. And so I saw that I had Diva in hand, and I know I have infantry in. Oh, and I don't have infantry in grave yet, but I know I'll have infantry off the Poseidra dump. So I want to hold on to the Diva, so I know I need 2 discards. 1 discard for squad, 1 discard for the Poseidra summon. So that's why I do the Toad play here. I don't think I have any other resources to deal with. If it's Nibiru, that's tough, I guess. But I think he already would have hit me because I had summoned Pike, summoned Prince once, summoned Dragoons. Let's see, summoned Poseidra and Bahamut. Yeah, so he would have nibbed me forever ago. He would have nibbed me on Bahamut. So this is totally fair game here. So I go Trite, special Dragoons back. And this Dragoons actually does matter because I have a rank 4 availability later in the turn. Go Poseidra, dump infantry. I only spin back to stars to hand, and then infantry pop the trap. And then now we can link off Coral and Poseidra for king. And I was assuming that this card is imperm. That's why king's perfect here because you can just play under the king, and then you're just totally safe. So we summon 3 back here. Yeah, we have the rank 3 levy to get Prince back. So we still end up having our interruption for their turn anyways. And then we're able to go normal Diva here. Diva summon Shrine just for attack points in like a body to link off the levy into a Lacia. But then we also have Diva and infantry that can synchro into the Crystron Quadrax and then get our rank 4 plays here. So we have Lacia. We have Lacia with Toad and Prince in hand already for this M board. But this is already lethal, so I just hit him here before I made the Bahamut Toad play. There's no point in like worrying about Nibiru because you would have done it forever ago. So yeah, that was our games. Pretty cool games here. Played against Droll every single game here, so I think that's doesn't matter what kind of deck it is. I think it's probably cool to see his deck play through Droll. And yeah, so this was a lot of fun, and I hope to get some more matches in. And I'm gonna hopefully, if I can record locals this weekend, I plan to take this list. But we'll see. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you guys like these videos, and see you next one.